Today is the first day of a 3-day weekend that I'm spending with a group of Germans. Last night I got a real good taste of what German friendships look like. Get out of your comfort zone. Find out what another culture is really like.
Hi, this is Tanner, Rissa, and Willa. We're accomplishing a lifelong dream of ours to live internationally, and we now call Germany our home. With so many new cultures, religions, landscapes, and foods to experience, we have been busy immersing ourselves to our new life abroad, one country at a time.
In this video, I'm taking a deep dive into German culture by spending a weekend with 4 Germans in the Eifel National Park. Join me as I hike nearly 50 kilometers, try new German foods, and enjoy my first German sauna experience. I knew it before, but this weekend confirmed that the best way to learn more about a country and its people is to spend time with the locals. Oh man, really early. Let's go catch the train. It's always sad to say bye.
Yeah, it is.
Not that I say this very often. Being my first time doing this where I'm going somewhere.
This is your first time. Like, we were actually talking about this last night. This is Tanner's first time going on a trip without me since we've been married.
Made it at this train station. It looks dead as night.
Yeah.
But my ticket says that their train leaves here in 20 minutes, so we'll see.
What's Daddy going on?
Choo-choo.
Love you.
Love you. Well, we made it on the train and it's pretty much empty here right now, but I'm sure along the way we've got a couple stops. We're going to pick up quite a few people. Pretty dang excited. And there you go, we made it here to Siegburg-Bonn. This has been a fun adventure on the first train ride in Germany, and like many of you told me, expect delays. We were only set back by about 10 minutes, but it was something that you don't want to do, is plan to have short transfer times, because you may miss your train and sometimes there's really nothing you can do about it. So here we are, I'm heading out. Here is the special guest of the day himself to come and pick me up. He saved me from the Deutschbahn.
Oh, it wasn't that bad, was it?
No, it wasn't that bad at all. I am joined here by Marcus. He has been our great friend from Bochum. Today we're really excited. We're going to the Eifel region to go and hike for the weekend, and hopefully we don't get drenched, absolutely drenched, but we're really excited. I'm really excited. Marcus has been very kind to come pick me up and take us the rest of the way. And here I am at the world famous Nürburgring, just getting a quick glimpse of how fast and insane these cars are. This racetrack has been something I've heard about ever since coming to Germany. It's a must-see, and I'm gonna go check out and see if that is the case. Today is the first day of a 3-day weekend that I'm spending with a group of Germans. And to put it all on top of that, we're going to be hiking in the mountains. There's going to be food, there's going to be beer for them, because I don't drink, and a lot of good times, I can already tell. We just made our steps on the first part in the Eifel region, and we are very excited to get going. So it'll be a little experience of how my hike is with these guys, and we'll see how it goes.
Sometimes we're inside.
So in the Eifel region, this is an area that got hit by those major floodings earlier in 2021. As you can see behind me, this is one of the bridges that was completely washed out and is under repair right now. It's pretty incredible to see. It's high up as well. I mean, we're talking about 3 to 4 meters high that these floods came through and just completely tore this bridge out. It's still beautiful. Thankfully, we're still able to walk through most of this path, but we did have to do a detour today. We're hiking somewhere around 13 to 14 kilometers today rather than the 17 that we had planned, simply because we had to take a detour. So still very positive. It has been a great first couple kilometers here. Everywhere on this trip has been exceptionally friendly, and honestly, I'm really excited to keep learning more about them and just to get their perspective, get some first-hand experience with Germans in the mountains and having a fun weekend with them. So one thing that's been very apparent from the start is that Germans seemed a little more reserved and private about, you know, who's taking pictures or who's posting videos and stuff. And I completely understand, you know, I'm a new face here, so that is right now one of the biggest differences that I've seen. But everyone here has been coming for several years, so I feel very special to have been invited and come and try to make the most out of it. You know, not take away from the experience of hiking and being in the mountains and making friends, but still being able to capture that in a video and give my feedback.
Gonna fall, gonna fly, I'm never gonna give you up. I'll be looking out, I'll be looking out for you, for you. I'll be looking out, I'll be looking out.
As we drove from the hotel to the first part of the hike, everyone was speaking in German, and I'm understanding a lot more than I actually thought, but I very quickly realized that it doesn't do me very well when trying to understand questions that people ask. And so they all kind of agreed, like, oh yeah, like let's just do German like this whole weekend. And honestly, I'm like, oh man, I don't really know if I'm ready for that. So I'm doing my best, trying to respond with what little German that I do know and trying to make the most of this opportunity, because it's a great opportunity to try and learn more, to try and talk. Oh man, I'm so tired. We just made it back from our first section of the hike. It's such a fun experience, and the tradition that these guys have going on is pretty incredible. It's going to be a fun, relaxing evening. So, this interesting looking dish in front of me, it smells delicious, is, correct me if I'm wrong, Sauerbraten. Yeah, is that alright? So traditionally this is made with horse meat, but today we are trying it with deer meat, and we have a little bit of red cabbage on top, right? And some vegetables on the side, and red cabbage underneath as well. So interesting to give it a whirl. One thing I did forget to mention is that in preparing this dish, the meat will sit in a vinegar spice blend of water for several days, up to a week or more. So I'm expecting to have a pretty powerful taste here, so here we go. Oh yeah, that is a very strong, like vinegar flavor, but I like it a lot. The meat is very tender, it's very good, and very pleasant, like warm, hearty feeling there. So these are potato noodles, and I didn't realize that before. I thought that they were some sort of yellow bean, but these have a very good texture, very nice. Finishing out the night, Marcus decided that it was time that I tried I didn't say it right, Radler? Yeah. And this is a alcohol-free beer because I don't drink alcohol, and we're gonna give it a try. There you go. Yeah, it's definitely got like a different taste. Not bad. Honestly, it tastes just like a soft drink, but it definitely has a different flavor to it. I can't really explain to it, but overall it's been a great night, and we're about to head in. See you tomorrow.
Heading out on our own with our hope in the clouds, and we're starting to see there journey take you where it wants to. We'll continue to find our way through anything we face.
Good morning, day 2 here. We just started our hike. 20 kilometers is on the agenda today, and thank goodness it stopped raining because it was coming down ferociously when we woke up this morning. It's been great being out in the forest again, listening to the water running by us. Again, this is one of the areas that got hit really bad by the flooding earlier this year in 2021. You can see lots of tree roots that had been uprooted, mud being displaced, and the hotel that we're staying at was very fortunate. They already had a wall built up, and that ultimately saved the hotel from getting flood damage. You could see right as you go down from the hotel, there's a little area that it looks like there was another footbridge of some sort there that was completely washed out. Really, they got lucky. Being prepared really saved them this time. Last night I got a real good taste of what German friendships look like and just how they can be very laid back, very spontaneous with conversations. And even though a lot of the conversations were in German, the things that I could understand and the things that were spoken in English were really funny. And I'm really starting to get a better understanding of what German culture is like. I think it's different when you only meet with someone for an hour or a couple hours at an event or a party. But, you know, staying overnight at a hotel, driving in the car, hiking on the trails, it's just giving me a better perspective. Everyone should have an opportunity to do things like this. Get out of your comfort zone, find out what another culture is really like. And even though Germans and Americans are similar in so many ways, oh man, we have several different ways of doing things. So one thing I will say is that when we were eating dinner last night, it has been so long since I've eaten really with like a knife that I'm consistently using, scoop food up onto my fork or my spoon or however. So food etiquette for me is something that's not my strong point. I had a class on it or some sort of activity when I was growing up, but it has been years since I've been in that kind of a setting. And so last night I just had this feeling all of the Germans were, you know, using their knife to gracefully put their food up onto their fork and, you know, cut small pieces, where Marissa has told me several times I just kind of go a little savage on the food, where I'll cut up like my meat or whatever we're eating and I'll cut it up into lots of pieces like all at once, so I can just enjoy not having to go back and cut it. Where I noticed they were taking time to like cut one piece, eat it, enjoy it, taking their time. And that's something as an American I have a hard time doing, is slowing down during meals, really taking time to enjoy it, have it as a conversation, a very refreshing perspective, taking it back to what food really is, not just to survive, but to really enjoy.
Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful. Here we go with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day. It's ours to take and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.
It's pretty incredible how many words I'm already learning out here. Brennnesseln for like stinging nettle, right? And then also we just passed a small cemetery for some of the casualties from the Second World War, and they said hier ruhen. And those are just like little small things that getting out and about and being with the Germans has been such a benefit for my language learning opportunities, cultural experiences and such. So again, a great reason why getting out with these guys has been so beneficial to me. And here's another example of the flooding that happened down here. Pretty intense, where it came up onto the trail, came underneath the tree and started to dig out the roots.
Every step, writing stories that seek to be read, taking hold of the moment as we discover every color filled with wonder. Now we finally see we got everything we need. Here we go. All we need is an open road and a chance to see a never-ending world that's beautiful.
Man, very refreshing. I just barely had my first experience in a German sauna. And unfortunately, everything that I recorded at the hotel and outside near the lake was lost in the GoPro. So What I do remember about the feeling was that it was absolutely fantastic. Being in an environment where everyone was so relaxed was the perfect way to ease into my first German sauna experience. And surprisingly enough, even though it was a mixed with both men and women sauna, it didn't feel as uncomfortable as I thought it would be. And I think it was mainly because everyone was so used to it. I felt extremely comfortable going in there. And this is something I definitely want to take Marissa to go and experience, because that environment was just very relaxing and it gave a perfect way to rejuvenate after a long weekend of hiking. The best part, in my opinion, was being able to leave the sauna and then go hop right into the lake. So refreshing. I think it was about 12 degrees Celsius, which for most people that might be chilly, but especially after going in a swim in that lake in Slovenia, nothing compared to it. And so it felt fantastic for me. It gave my body just the rejuvenation that it needed, and it felt so great. The next morning, I got up and went and took another dip. To end today's video, I want to give the biggest shout out to all of my German friends who I came and made on this weekend, full of adventures and memories, new foods, lots of German, a little understanding, but an increased appreciation for the way that life is lived in Germany, and it's special to me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really love my time with you guys, and I hope that I can do it again sometime soon. Thanks again, everybody, for being here. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. We will see you next time.
Here we go, with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day, it's ours to take, and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.